Hi, welcome back. This is my game. This is my Totes Bay game with my bae, Paris Hilton. She's Totes my bae. You know, I want to talk about when me and Paris we go out. What we do is, I'm talking.
I haven't seen the gang shake it like that since the ants escaped from Stacy's ant farm.
It must be totes amazing to listen to that. Whatever I said was totes important. You have to listen to it. Anyway, what was I saying? I've forgotten. Oh yeah, I was with my bae, my totes bae, Paris Hilton, and what we do is we go to a hotel. It's a very expensive, exclusive hotel. It costs a lot of money. And what I do is I go to Ken and I say, "Can I have a bit of money, Ken?" He goes, "Yeah." "What do you want it for?" I said, "I gotta go out with my bae, Paris. You want me to have friends, right?" And he goes, "Yeah." So I go to my, he gives me the money, and we go out, and I meet Paris, and she's in the limousine, and we're driving around downtown LA, and it's totally amazing. We go to boutiques, and we buy all kinds of things, like shoes, and other things, like clothes. I can't remember what they're called. They're like clothes, something. And we spend so much money. I don't even know how much money I've even spent. It's like a lot of money. I couldn't say numbers, but like a lot. And then we go out and we get like, we go and have takeout. We have like sushi and stuff like that, and very exclusive restaurants. It's totally amazing. And with Paris Hilton and other photographers are there, and they're taking pictures of us. I don't know why, it's taking pictures. And then we're like with posing. It's totally amazing. And then we go to a hotel. She says, "Why don't we go to a hotel?" So I said, "Okay, we go to this hotel. It's very expensive, like very expensive." And she says, "Paris says, I'll pay for this because your credit card cannot cover this." And I go, "I'm totally insulted. Ken's credit card is amazing, but it can't stretch to the expense of like some kind of hotel." And I said, "It's not any hotel," Paris told me. "It's like a very exclusive one." I was like, "Okay." So we go to this very exclusive hotel, and it's totes amazing. And when we get there, it's like the concierge, and there's like all these people, and we treat like royalty, and everything's gold plated. It's like totally amazing. We go to the room. The first thing Paris Hilton does, she gets on the bed. She says, "Do you know what I want to do?" I says, "No." She says, "I'm gonna have a drink at the mini bar." I says, "Have they got a mini bar?" And she says, "Yeah, of course they do." And it's like all inclusive. I paid enough money for this room, and it's this huge thing. It's like a refrigerator. It's like massive. She opens it, and there's like loads of drink in there. I can't believe how much drink there is. So I'm going to this mini bar, and it's like a mini. It's like a mini kind of thing. It's like a mini kind of thing. And I'm totally amazed at how much alcohol there is. It's all kinds. And there's this like thing next to the mini bar. It's like an actual bar. And there's this thing that says, if you want someone to mix cocktails, just press the button. So press this button, right? So press that, and this tall guy turns up, and he's like beautiful tall guy. We're totally hitting on him. And he says, "How can I help you, ladies?" And we says, "Well, we said something rude to him, right, about how it was naughty." And he says, "No, I can't do that because I'm like paid to be here. It's more than my job's worth." So anyway, if you want to do something, right, I could do cocktails. So we go, "Okay." So he mixes these cocktails. They're totes amazing. Totes amazing. And he mixes them. And he pours them out. He says, "I normally charge a lot of money because I work in a very exclusive bar downtown. It's full of very exclusive Hollywood A-listers." So anyway, oh, that's totally me. That's a beautiful thing. Look at that. Isn't that totally wonderful? Perhaps I will love this. I should have one of them in my house. I do, because there it is. Anyway, we're in this hotel with this guy, and he's mixing these cocktails. They're very expensive, right? And we're drinking these cocktails. We get totally wasted. And we get more and more rambunctious. And the guy, right, he goes away for 5 minutes, right? And me and Paris are totally wasted on this drink. And it's like very expensive. We have Bollinger champagne, having all kinds of stuff. And it's totally amazing. And then Paris Hilton, she's like really tipsy. And what happens when Paris Hilton gets really tipsy is she starts wanting to do like crazy things, And she starts doing handstands and doing backflips. And she's like, sounds amazing. Like some kind of like person who could do things on like falling horses and stuff. I don't know what it's
Said we
called
all
when they
needed
do that. I'm
makeovers,
talking.
But I think his look could use some freshening. Like maybe some shadow on that big eye of his. Oh, closet!
Whatever it was I said, it's totally amazing. You should listen to it because it's totally amazing. Anyway, Paris Hilton's like doing backflips and she's like wasted. Like not totally wasted, but she's like wasted. And so she's doing these backflips and she falls over and knocks off a very expensive vase. And I'm like, what are you doing? She's this guy. This always happens. I always have this room on my other base, and you're my total bay now. But when I was in my other base, right, we smashed the whole room up. It's so funny. And I had like a massive bill, and my daddy paid for it. So I was like laughing and she was laughing. So, okay, whatever you do, if you break something, it's okay because it's on me, right? So I can afford it. My father can anyway. So anyway, she did backflips. And then she starts thinking, why didn't I go on the balcony? And go, well, that might be a bit dangerous. We're like 14 stars up. She said 14 stars, right? And I said, what kind of stars are those? Like horror? Or like romance? And she goes, no, stars. And I go, like, what do you mean? Like fairy tales? And she goes, it's like floors up, like the height of the building. Oh, I never heard of anyone calling a building like stories. I thought they meant like fairy tales. She goes, no, you stupid. Okay, you just gotta do it, right? You gotta do this thing, and I'm gonna go on the balcony, and then we'll see what happens. So she gets on the balcony, right? She's dancing, and I got my camera phone out. I'm taking photographs of her. It's totally amazing. And then she falls off, and she disappears, and I'm like, Paris, where have you gone? We're 14 stories or whatever that means up. I look out the window, I go to the balcony, and she's on the floor, and a skeleton is totally smashed. I can't believe how it's like all over the pavement, and she's like alive, but her body is like squishy. So I run downstairs, and I get the concierge. It's so hot, right? I'm like, hitting on him. And we go outside, and then there's that body, and then there's this skeleton, right? So you got Paris Hilton with no bones in her body, and there's this skeleton on the floor, like covered in blood, and there's all these intestines all over the place. I'm like, oh my god, Paris! And she can't speak because she's got no bones in her face or something. So anyway, we call the paramedics, right? And they take ages, but I'm hitting on the concierge. He's totally amazing. He's giving me all kind of fashion tips. And he runs his own nail bar down in LA Central. I can't believe it. And we're having this conversation, and suddenly these rude guys turn up with these like sirens or something. I was like, excuse me, I'm trying to hit this guy. He's giving me nail advice and all kinds of stuff. And it turns out the paramedics are so hot. Can't believe how hot they are. And I'm hitting on them. I say, what's happening here? I say, my friend, my bae, she jumps out the window. Well, she didn't jump. She's on the... Cut a long story, even like shorter. We basically got so wasted, right? On the mini bar, and there's this hot guy behind the mini bar, and he did these amazing cocktails. And it's so like exclusive. And then what happened was, she got drunk, we got drunk, and the guy went away. I don't know why, because if we just stayed there, we might actually been okay. But then Paris Hilton, right, she gets totes crazy when she's drunk. She starts doing backflips like those people who do things on falling horses. Anyway, she jumps onto the balcony. Everything's good. She's like really good. She looked at me. Got my camera phone out. My iPhone's totally amazing, by the way. It's exclusive, gold plated, Barbie branded. You've seen it. It's amazing. Anyway, she gets on the balcony. She falls off. And she said something about stories or something. Like, what's the story? Like, something to do with buildings or fairy tales or something. She falls off, and then there she is. And they can't believe it. And the skeleton is in like 10 or more pieces of something. And it's like, it's totally terrible. And the guy's so hot, and he's like shocked. And I'm trying to comfort him. It's like he's never seen someone with a smashed skeleton before. So aren't you like some kind of doctor who's so hot? And the guy says, yeah, I'm a paramedic. And I see lots of things. People get drunk, they fall over. But the thing is, I never saw a smashed skeleton before. I said, can you put it back together? And it says, I don't know, I never seen anything like this. So we go to Paris Hilton, she's like something out of the sea or something, like a sea cucumber, and she's like flapping about on the floor. I says, don't worry, but your nails are fine. It's the problem, like. Anyway, we get her in the back of the ambulance, right? And she's like flopping about, and there's stuff coming out of her body, and it's disgusting. But I'm thinking I'm just gotta be strong for her and hit on this guy because he's so gorgeous, guys. How come it's so amazingly good looking? I'm hitting on them, and I'm trying not to do that because I know my friend's in pain and stuff. But like, it's so amazing, guys. And we get in the ambulance, we go right to the hospital, and I'm hitting on the guys, and I'm holding Press's hand. It's like squidgy, and look at all the bones and in this box. They're in this box, this beautiful like Barbie kind of like theme box, because I brought it with me because that's where my shoes come from. Anyway, I took it. We put Press's bones, skull, all the disgusting bones into this box, and I think they can put it back in. I'm thinking, this is amazing. That might be able to make her completely back to normal, maybe in 5 or 10 years or something. So we get to the hospital, and they take her bones, and then they drop them on the floor, and the dog takes one of them. It's like this gorgeous poodle, like a white poodle. It's so cute. I think I want this poodle, but I have to get Paris Hilton's foot out of its mouth. That's just so weird. So I get this bone, and I got this little dog now. And we go in, and then so you have to wait half an hour, maybe more. I don't know how long that is, because I'm Barbie, and I got this time. Anyway, we stood around waiting for this thing, and they tell me that they're gonna have to do an operation or something. I don't even know what an operation is. Is it like where you have your nails done, and you go to an exclusive restaurant? Is that like an operation or something? I don't know what it is. So we go, I have to wait, and then finally they tell me to go into the room, and she's there, right? Paris Hilton is in the bed, and she's like in plaster or something, and she's got lots of bandages on her. I'm thinking, oh my god, babe, you remind me of my favorite Monster High character, Clear Denial. She's like mommy. I'm so jealous, and I'm thinking I can get some accessories to put on her arms and legs and stuff, like trinkets and ankle bracelets and stuff. And she's like wired up or something, like the Terminator. She looks like the Terminator, like the female one from the third film. It's amazing with the big boobas, and she's driving around that exclusive car, and she looks totally amazing. Her complexion is something I've never seen. I've tried to emulate the Terminatrix complexion. Anyway, moving on to this thing with like Paris Hilton in his bed. She's wired up like the Terminatrix. She looks like Clear Denial out of Monster High. It's totally amazing. And then she starts to talk. She goes, blah, 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 blah. I can't stand you, babe. And she's, I just about managed to understand. She says like, do I look amazing? I said, you do. Even though your bones are smashed, right? You look totally amazing, like Terminatrix and Clear Denial. She's like, oh my god. But she's like, because she couldn't talk because her jaw was wide shut, and she's sucking like food for a straw. And says, what are they giving you for food? I looked at this thing, like a clipboard, at the bottom of the bed. It says sushi and foie gras and quail's eggs. I think at least they're feeding you good time rather than this cheap stuff they give commoners. So she's getting good meals. So she's like really being looked after. But I'm sitting there and I'm stroking her hand, and she looks like Hilton Denial, and she looks like Terminatrix, and it's just so funny. And then the doctor comes in, it's so hot. I can't help but hit on him, and he's talking in this like terms I don't understand. He's saying that Paris Hilton's gonna be sort of intubated, and she's gonna have lots of operations with like plates, something. I don't know what it means. It's like so weird. I don't know what she's saying things about atrial fibrillation and stuff, and I don't know what it means. But he's so hot and tall, and he's educated. And I asked him if he wants to come to my house and then get drunk with me in a mini bar, and he says no because he's a doctor and he doesn't do that and he's married. And I think it's rude. He's just turning me down. What are you doing? It's such rude. We're gonna party at my house, and he says, how did it happen? And I said, well, we was in a mini bar in an exclusive hotel, and she gets drunk, and when she gets drunk, she turns into that kind of person that does those things, like rolling horses and stuff, and she's really good at it, but only when she's drunk. She never does it when she's not drunk. I don't know why. Anyway, we're talking about this thing, and it's hot, and then Paris Hilton's being fed through a straw, and then it's like amazing. I'm saying like she looks like Clear Denial, and it doesn't know what I'm talking about. It's like Monster High. It's amazing cartoons, amazing. And Terminatrix, and he says, you know what that is? And I was like, yeah, oh my god, we have quite a common interest. Maybe I could go on a date with him. Maybe we go on dates and stuff. Anyway, Paris Hilton is wired up, and she's like, all her bones are broken. And then they said they can fix her like in a moment. If they give her an injection or something, it'll fix all her bones. And I said, okay, why didn't you do that then? What are you standing here talking to me for? I want my babe back because I want to go and get drunk again in a hotel room. Maybe that tilt's amazing. And he says, well, it costs lots of money. So I said, I've got like a credit card. And Paris Hilton's like really wealthy. Her father's really wealthy. So they said, if we could get the money, then we can get this injection to fix her. So I called up Ken, and he nearly had a hissy fit after he heard what it was. The numbers were weird. It was like 6 figures. It was like something like a bazillion or something. I don't know what it was. It's really expensive, apparently. And he said he'd cover it, right, until Paris Hilton's father could pay us back. So he decides to go, yes, we give it the green light. And they give her an injection. And within like 5 minutes, she's sitting up in bed. And she's laughing. And she takes all the bandages off. And all of her bones are fixed. I can't believe this. I said, why did you get this to everybody? And they go, no, only people with lots of money who break their bones falling out of a window. So we're really happy. So we was like sitting there talking and everything, and we were laughing about it. And I said, do you remember when you were on the floor, like when you fell? Do you remember anything? And she says, no, I don't remember anything other than flopping about on the floor. I said, what was that like? She says, like swimming in the Dead Sea. I said, that's totes amazing. How could you swim in the Dead Sea? Well, it's like that, but it was like really tingly. But when I impacted the pavement, it was very painful. And then there was like nothing but like this swimming feeling. I was like totes jealous. I always have this feeling, it was like out of body or something. Anyway, I'm sitting there and this guy comes in and it's like a reporter. And he's like, what happened? You're Paris Hilton, you're Barbie. What happened? There's like an accident? I says, yeah, what we'll do is we'll do an exclusive and how Paris Hilton's bones was smashed and skeleton was sliding down the pavement. And so we did this exclusive because we had to pay for this bill that we had to pay for because the injection that cured Paris Hilton. And so we're talking to this guy and he's totally hot. And we're hitting on him. And then the doctor said we had to leave because Paris Hilton's no longer ill because her skeleton's been totally fixed. So she has one more x-ray and the guy who was operating the x-ray was totes hot. I was hitting on him. It was totally amazing. And turns out Paris Hilton's fine. She hasn't got a brain though, like me. That's not a problem because if we had brains, it would probably be like worse if we fell off a building and smashed our skeleton. Anyway, we left the hospital. And we got drunk again to celebrate Paris Hilton's total recovery. It was totes amazing. She was sitting there laughing and saying how I fell out of the building and she made a whole lot of money on an exclusive deal with the National Enquirer. It was totes amazing. And we got in a limousine and we had some sushi and the guy was hot. And then we got downtown and went to a hotel. And it was just amazing. And the concierge was amazing. And there's blood on the pavement. We don't know why, because we don't know what was happening there. We went inside the building and we got another room. And then there was like this room. It looked very familiar. And then there was a mini bar. And then there was all this alcohol. So we decided to get drunk again. It was fun. And we were laughing. And the guy came in and says, we'd like to have a cocktail shaken. And we were like, totes amazing. It's like, this guy's so hot. And then the cocktails were very expensive. And he's telling us like how there were 2 women in here like the other day. And one of them was very rich. And the other one was not so rich. And then basically there was like an accident. I was like, what happened? It's just some woman who was beautiful, right, when she was very drunk, she fell off the balcony. I was like, what? That's totes amazing. That happened to us. And then we couldn't believe it. So anyway, the guy has to go. And we're like, oh, where are you going? It's so hot. Anyway, we're sitting there drinking this really nice cocktails. You left. It was like Bollinger champagne. And there was like all this vodka and all this very expensive gin. And we're sitting there laughing, and then Paris Hilton starts doing these handstands against the wall. What are you doing, Paris? She says, I'm doing a handstand. I'm totally amazing. So I get my iPhone out, and I start taking photographs. And I was taking she's so funny. Paris Hilton, she's doing that thing where she's hanging upside down and she's doing crazy stuff. And it's like really funny. It's like she's so funny. She starts telling jokes and everything. And she's singing and I'm filming with my iPhone. It's so funny. She's such a funny woman. And we're talking about things, and then this guy comes in and asks if everything's okay. And we say, yeah, because he's like totally hot. It's a totally amazing guy. And we wonder if we have any like reading materials. And we said, what do you mean by reading materials? Is it like books? And we don't know what he's talking about. Anyway, we're sitting there, and then he leaves, and then we're having like a joke and a laugh. And Paris Hilton gets on the balcony, and I'm thinking, this is gonna be funny, right? So she does this handstand backflip, and she doesn't fall off. Right, and I'm totally amazed. And she gets off the balcony and says, why did you try it, Barbie? I'm like, I've never done a handstand before. I said, it's totally easy, totally easy. What you do is you just like put your weight on your hands and go against the wall. And I did. I was really easy to do it.
Barbie.
I did it. And then I tried on the balcony, and I did it. That's amazing, and I fell off. And then my skeleton was smashed. I couldn't believe it. My skeleton was all over the floor, and Paris Hilton comes down. She goes, babe, what's going on? And I couldn't speak because my bones were broken or something. Didn't have any teeth or anything, and my bones all over the pavement. And so it's like something happened before where somebody fell off a balcony, and then it's happened again or something. And Paris Hilton is hitting with the concierge, and she's laughing and joking, doing handstands. And someone says, we better call the paramedics. So they call the paramedics, and then it's totally amazing that they turn up and they're so hot. I'm on the floor and my eyeballs are pointing different directions outside of my head. And I'm looking at two guys at the same time thinking, it's hot. It's so hot. I wish I could flirt with them, but I haven't got a skeleton because it's smashed. Anyway, Paris Hilton is like trying to get them to come over. And look, and I say, we see this the other day, but wasn't it you? She was talking to Paris, and she goes, was it? I don't know. I can't remember. Anyway. Long story cut short, take me to the hospital with these hot guys. They're so hot. Can't believe how hot these guys are. They're so hot. Anyway, they just put my bones back into my body. Except this time, they said there's not enough of the money to pay for an injection, so I have to be in a plaster cast. But it's okay, because I look like clear denial and Terminatrix all at the same time. That's amazing. Anyway, I'm in hospital right now doing this commentary, but I'm getting better because my bones are fixed because I'm like a doll or something. So I like fixed it really quickly. And so that was like my story, that when me and Paris Hilton, my totes bae, went out into a hotel and she smashed the skeleton and I smashed mine. It was so funny because we get drunk on gin and tonic, Bollinger champagne, and vodka, and this hot guys, and we haven't got a brain, and we don't know what's going on, and we don't know what's happening. We don't know what books are for or anything. And this is my house. This is my daughter. I don't know how to daughter.
Cool, Barbie.
Do I have a daughter? I don't know. Anyway, I'm so happy to recite that wonderful story, even though I'm in hospital. My bones are smashed. And my brain, I haven't got a brain. I didn't get any brain damage because I haven't got a brain. But it's fine. Look at my totes wardrobe. It's totes amazing. Oh, that's beautiful outfits. So yeah, that's my story. That I love getting drunk with Paris Hilton and then having like accidents, because it's like when I fall downstairs, we always end up falling down the stairs or falling up balconies. And the paramedics are so hot. They're so hot. I love paramedics. And I like hospital food because it's so tasty through a straw. It's so funny and interesting. Especially one with Paris Hilton. It's my tote bae. I love this outfit. I wish Paris Hilton was here. She could play this game with me, and she'd be like totes amazed by the wardrobe. It's like totally amazing. I'm Barbie. I love this outfit. I wish I had wings when I fell off the goddamn balcony. And I wouldn't have smashed my skeleton. Like a total moron. What am I doing? Falling off balconies. It's totally Paris Hilton's fault. Getting me drunk. We both get drunk all the time. We can't help it. There's something wrong with us. We can't stop drinking. Like we're total airheads. We keep getting smashed out of our brains. Even though we haven't got any brains. Because we're total silly people. What are we doing? I love getting drunk with Paris Hilton. That's so much fun. I love getting drunk, falling off balconies. Because I'm so crazy. My base, Paris Hilton. Oh, I gotta do a bit of Max Payne. I love Max Payne. It's my favorite game. Apart from this game, of course. Oh my god. I love this. I'm totally amazing. My base, Paris Hilton. We're gonna get totally drunk tonight. We're gonna go to a hotel with a mini bar and get totally wasted. It's gonna be totally amazing. What's this mean? What am I doing? I think the game's over. Is the game over? If I started my story about falling off a balcony, it's like, that's so much fun. Probably do it again tonight when my bones are fixed. What's credits mean? Is that why I get my credit card? Oh, I guess the game's over. Oh, the game's over. Thank you for watching. I'm Barbie. I'm gonna go out with my bae, Paris Hilton. We're gonna go to a mini bar in an exclusive hotel with an ensuite and get totally wasted on gin and fall off the balcony. It's gonna be totally amazing. It's totally amazing. It's the game over. It's the game over. It's the game's. Where's my credit card? I'm going out with my bae. Bye.